This Christmas journey, my mouth no fit talk everything what I see. Oh, this is the day 2 of their journey. But as the day began to brighten, Pa Johnson looked left, then right, and froze. Wait, oh, where are my side mirrors? He rubbed his eyes and looked again. Both mirrors had vanished into thin air. No glass, no frame, nothing. Just the empty screws shining in the sun. "Angela," he shouted, "you see wetin I dey see?" Angela, already tired of surprises, didn't even flinch. "Which one again?" "My mirrors don't go. Both of them. Who go thief side mirror for park, eh?" She gave him a long, calm look, the kind that says, "You are on your own." "Maybe na the same people wey help you fix motor yesterday," she muttered. Pa Johnson sighed heavily. He glanced at the tiny rearview mirror. The thing was so dusty and cracked that all he could see was a shadow of his own confused face. That was when he realized what his new challenge would be. Each time he wanted to overtake, he had to stretch his neck out through the window, peeping like a man trying to smell trouble. Sometimes, he'd even half stand from the driver's seat shouting, "Anybody they come from back?" Angela would just shake her head and mumble, "This our Christmas journey, don't turn prayer point, oh." The road was rough, and every bump made the luggage in the back jump like popcorn. The children sat quietly, too tired to laugh, while dust coated their faces like Christmas powder. Still, Pa Johnson kept driving, muttering under his breath, "We go reach. Even if na night, we go reach." Normally, from their current location to the village was a simple 5-hour drive, even with small traffic. But with Pa Johnson's no-mirror style of driving, time started behaving like snail. For every few minutes they moved, he would stick his head out of the window like a giraffe, squinting to see if any motor was coming from behind. He would then slowly slide back in, adjust his seat, check again, and continue until Angela shouted, "Haba, Pa Johnson, if you look back one more time, your neck go remain outside." Those 5 hours on the road were not for covering distance. They were for looking, peeping, praying, and arguing. Finally, when they reached halfway, the family started brightening up. "Ah, we go soon reach, oh. Before 2 hours, we go a chop rice for village." But that journey had other plans. Just as they started to climb a small hill, they saw people waving from afar. Before they could ask what was happening, a loud crash echoed through the road. Bam! A fuel tanker up ahead had skidded off balance and fallen across the lane. Within seconds, shouts filled the air. "Everybody run, oh! No start your motor! Fire fit catch!" Cars screeched to a stop. Doors flew open, and people began sprinting into the nearby bush like athletes at the Olympics. Angela grabbed Jane and Johnny. "Pa Johnson, leave that motor first." But Pa Johnson stood frozen for 1 second, looking at his lorry as if he could carry it along. "My lord, all our properties there inside." "You go die with them," Angela barked, dragging his shirt. That was how the great Pa Johnson, the man who refused to call another vehicle, who carried spoon and stove, ended up fleeing into the bush on Boxing Day, his lorry standing alone by the roadside. They hid there with other travelers until finally officials came and cleared the spilled fuel. By then, night had swallowed the sky again. The family, covered in dust and mosquito bites, trudged back to the road quietly. The children were half asleep. Angela had stopped talking altogether. Even Pa Johnson, the man of stories, had nothing left to say. He just sighed, climbed back into his seat, and said softly, "We go reach tomorrow. Definitely tomorrow. With no side mirrors and headlights, we are not safe continuing this journey." That night, after running for their lives and watching their Christmas journey turn into a survival movie, Angela and the children sat quietly by the roadside. Their clothes were dusty, their faces tired, and their stomachs were louder than the crickets. Pa Johnson, trying to save face, muttered, "Make we just manage one small thing chop. Tomorrow, we go reach village, I promise." They found a roadside woman selling bread and beans. That became their Boxing Day dinner. No rice, no chicken, no joy. Just silence, spoons, and tears. Angela and the children ate quietly, and when they finally lay back inside the lorry, tears rolled down their cheeks. They cried themselves to sleep, softly, so Pa Johnson wouldn't hear. Unlike the night before, there were no dreams. No rice, no dancing, no shining shoes. Even their spirits were tired, as if their souls had also joined the protest. By the next morning, a day after Boxing Day, the world had already moved on. Fireworks were over, Christmas songs were fading, and some people who had traveled before them were already returning back to town. Angela scrolled through her phone, seeing pictures of her sisters in their fine Ankara, smiling beside plates of fried rice. She sighed heavily. "People where we plan to visit don't finish Christmas and go back to town," she whispered. Pa Johnson, pretending not to hear, tightened his grip on the steering. "We go still reach. Even if everybody don't go back, we go still reach." And so, the stubborn lorry started crawling again, tired but moving. They didn't know if the road was leading them to the village or just away from their patients. But one thing was sure, this Christmas had left them behind. By the time Pa Johnson's family finally rode into the village, the sun was bright and merciless. The lorry coughed one last time and went silent, like it too was tired of life. Pa Johnson stepped out proudly, stretched his back, and looked around. "We don't finally reach, oh," he announced, as if they had just conquered a war. Angela didn't answer. Her wrapper was dusty, her hair rough, her eyes swollen from tears and sleeplessness. The village square was almost empty. The Christmas decorations that once glittered had started to fade under the sun. Most of the people they came to visit had already returned to their cities. Even Angela's aunties, who were supposed to host them, had gone back to Enugu. One old man, a neighbor sitting under a tree, looked up lazily and asked, Pa Johnson, una just dey come? Christmas don't finish, oh." Pa Johnson laughed weakly. Small delay for road. You know say traffic this period is somehow." The man nodded slowly. "Traffic will reach 2 days." Everyone burst into laughter, and even Angela couldn't hold hers. At that point, she wasn't laughing because it was funny. She was laughing because if she didn't, she might cry again. They dragged their boxes into the old family house, too tired to unpack. There was no jollof rice waiting, no greeting crowd, no celebration, just silence, a few chickens scratching the ground, and the sound of Pa Johnson's lorry cooling off outside. Later that evening, as they sat under the moonlight, eating gari and hot egusi soup, Angela said quietly, "Next year, we go just celebrate Christmas for house. Village no dey run, no." Pa Johnson nodded, wiped his mouth, and added with confidence, "No worry, as we no celebrate Christmas for village, we go celebrate New Year well. Na New Year celebration dey sweet pass sef." Angela just looked at him and sighed. She knew that was the same thing he said last year.